can crypto survive this in the short term? Because the Bitcoin price, as I speak, is clinging on to key support lines established all the way back in early February. And at the same time, strong altcoins are also hanging on to key levels. In this video, I'm going to talk about how safe the Bitcoin price is right now and what the absolute worst case scenario would be for the Bitcoin price should it break down through support. I'm also going to be talking about those key altcoins that, despite the fear and panic spreading across the markets, have actually been putting in some higher lows and showing huge potential for growth once the market begins to change over the weeks and months ahead. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's get into today's video. Now guys, before we jump across and check out those key altcoins that, despite Bitcoin moving lower and panic and fear spreading, have actually been putting in significantly higher lows and showing a lot of potential for growth into the future, let's dive across and check out the Bitcoin chart and identify what the probabilities are of going lower in the short term and how bad it could be if it was to play out. Now first things first, let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart on the fairly short term. You can see that in the last 24 or 48 hours, depending on when you watch this video, the Bitcoin price has pushed back down to around $59,200 to retest this zone. This zone has basically remained intact from back in early February, where the Bitcoin price pushed down to 60k. It then pushed here again on the 5th of June to $59,500 approximately, and is basically still unable to break through this key area, the area that was established all the way back on the 8th of October 2024. So is there anything that can potentially save us, or are we destined to plunge much lower down from here? Well, first things first, let's zoom out and see what we are looking at from a bigger picture. Now this is a Bitcoin chart from back in 2014 all the way to present day, and as you can see over time, Bitcoin swings between highs to lows to highs to lows. You get the picture. But something very key is showing up on this particular chart right now that is in line with what we've seen after every major swing low over the past few years. And it's this, that the price dumps down and then has another retest and then pushes a little bit lower slightly later on. But at the same time that that happens, down below on the RSI, or relative strength index, you actually push up. So the price is going down, but the RSI goes up. Now this is a very interesting indicator. It is effectively showing you the momentum of a move. Now if a move happens very fast to the upside, like this one here, but as you can see, the second move back in the 2021 kind of double top bull market, you get this second much lower high, showing a massive loss of momentum. Now that is a very good indicator that eventually price is going to roll over from there. Now on the other side, when you get that first aggressive push down, it typically happens under huge momentum. Lots of panic, lots of fear, lots of selling pressure. But the second time you get round to that point, a lot of the people who were already going to sell have already sold, meaning that there's not so many sellers or active sellers left in the market. That means the momentum is slowing down. This is a very good indicator telling us that the amount of sellers willing to step in and get rid of their Bitcoin is decreasing. And this is an important part, because I know everyone looks at charts and they're trying to work out what it is that's really controlling this chart, that it has to go to this level and that level based on this and based on that. But effectively, ultimately, a chart is simply showing us a very simple thing. It's showing us buyers versus sellers. And yes, there's some funny business going on in between with market makers, etc. But ultimately, those market makers are just trying to flush certain people out the market at certain key times. And if they can't flush people out at the bottom, then guess what? The price will eventually stick and then it will start to go back up. So all we're looking for is evidence that the people who are likely to sell have already sold. And jumping across this net realized profits and loss breakdown from Check on Chain, you can see we have seen two massive capitulation events. The first one was back in early February. The second one happened on the 5th of June. Now this is in line with what we saw back around the time of the FTX crash. Now the first one was when you saw quantitative tightening coming in, and then the second one was the actual FTX crash. Then you can see this third one, despite the fact that the Bitcoin price had actually put in a much higher low there, you still got the panic selling going on. So even after the bottom is in, you can see that literally months later, this was like 7 or 8 months later, there was still panic selling going on, believing that the price was going to roll over much longer. We can also see something very important showing here from Crypto Quant. It shows the Bitcoin supply in loss. Now, you might think that that sounds like a really worrying thing, that most of the Bitcoin supply right now is in a loss. In fact, 9.5 million Bitcoins are currently being held in underwater positions. Now that might sound very bearish and very worrying, but actually what it means is those people are already in the red. They are less likely to sell based on trying to take profits. They're less likely to sell because they're obviously not so emotional with being in the red. And that means that those coins aren't going anywhere. If the coins don't go anywhere, remember, if no one's selling, eventually the tide will turn and people will begin to buy. And then we start to see that the bottoms are formed. And this shows us a bit clearer. The percent of supply in profit right now is all the way down here around 50%. Just scan across the chart for me if you will, and look at this yellow line. Look at when the last time we went underneath this 50% in profit line. It was literally the day the FTX crash happened, and then from there basically rebounded. That did take sort of 6 weeks or so to finish up, but eventually it just moves into higher levels. So that solves it, right? We've seen this happen at the bottom of every cycle over the last few years. We can see all the on-chain data that says that a lot of sellers are out the market, meaning the buyers will eventually start to enter. That must mean that the Bitcoin price is going to hold on here. Well, there is a final chart that actually gives us a potential worst case scenario for the Bitcoin price, and it's called the Bitcoin CVDD. And that stands for Cumulative Value Days Destroyed. And it's a metric that tracks the economic weight of every Bitcoin transaction. Essentially, it measures the cumulative cost basis of the entire network, adjusted for how long coins were held before they were then sold on. So for example, if you bought a Bitcoin today and held it for a year, that Bitcoin would be a year old. Obviously, Bitcoin's been around for a lot longer than that, but you get the picture. Now, as you can see, the CVDD has provided support to the Bitcoin price over time. And whenever the Bitcoin price has significantly sold off, it has reached down to these lows. Notably, it didn't back in early 2020. Now, as we speak, the CVDD is effectively rising all the time. But at present time, the CVDD is currently sat just under $50,000, which, as we checked from the lowest price established yesterday for the Bitcoin price, would be around a 15.5% decline. And obviously in certain altcoins, that would also equal a fairly big dip as well. So this leaves us all with the question of, well, okay, is the Bitcoin price gonna go to 50K? If it is, what do I need to do? Or is the Bitcoin price bouncing in this zone and is the bottom already in? Well, guess what? I know it's the question that everybody out there really wants to know. And I also would love to know the answer. But guess what? No one out there has a 100% guarantee that they can call exactly where this is going. This is all based on probabilities. Effectively, when you look at the data over time, a lot of information would suggest that the bottom is already in, but that one CVDD thing says that the bottom could be a little bit lower from here. So which one's right? Well, ultimately, the one thing that's right and has always been right over time in any market, whether it's in crypto, whether it's in stocks, whatever it is identifying where there is value and then exiting when there is a premium. And this is exactly what people who've spent decades working in finance also do. They don't know when the exact bottom is in and they don't know when the exact top is in, but they can start to buy when value is there. And look at it. This is MicroStrategy as a stock. Now, I know it's been getting a lot of flack because of Michael Saylor and Bitcoin and all that other stuff. It's a Ponzi scheme, whatever you want to call it. But look at this chart, okay? It shows you MicroStrategy institutional ownership over time. Look, into December, there was very little institutional ownership. Guess what? The MicroStrategy share price absolutely dumps around September, October time for obvious reasons. And then you see it track sideways. Guess what happens? As the price of that stock is low, suddenly institutional buying happens on a massive scale. Why do they start buying it here? Because they know that it's a good value. They know that in future it's going to be worth much more. And this is ultimately all our job is, to identify when things are near enough at their absolute lows based on all the historical data and information to hand, getting into those assets knowing that the downside risk versus the upside potential is probably leaning in favor of one particular direction. And this is exactly what I've been talking about over the past few months, especially with altcoins. Now, before I jump in and talk about which altcoins have started to look really strong despite, weakness in the Bitcoin market and why the altcoins are looking really quite good right now, because it's all to do with the others versus Bitcoin chart, I just want to quickly shout out Yubit. It's a place I go personally to trade, not only because I can trade crypto, but I can also trade things like stocks. I've been trading oil, and I've also been going into longs on copper because obviously the ISM manufacturing index has been pumping. We're seeing global liquidity expansion. Copper's starting to show a lot of excitement. Not only that, but by joining up through the link down below, you're also going to be able to access the various different competitions where you can win prizes up to around 5,000 to 10,000 USDT. So make sure you sign up for that today. So what's the strategy here? Well, as you know, if you caught my video that I made the other day talking about specific altcoins that I'd been holding in my own personal portfolio. Make sure you check it out after this video because I go into much more depth about some of the altcoins, although I'm going to mention some of them right now because a lot of them have been showing some good strength. Now, one of the most important charts I think is worth paying attention to right now is, in fact, Ethereum, which sounds weird, but actually it should make sense. Now, you would have expected to see Bitcoin crashing down like it did over the past couple of days, but when that happened, you would have expected all the altcoins to bleed like crazy. We've all seen that happen before, right? But right now, we're seeing something very different. The Bitcoin price did indeed crash down, but many altcoins, not all of them, didn't crash down as hard as you would have expected. And in fact, from the 5th of June, Bitcoin put in a slight new low of a few $100s or less, but Ethereum during that time actually went higher. That's very interesting. If you look at this from around the 5th of June, which is pretty much here, you can see that the others versus Bitcoin is also significantly up. Now, others versus Bitcoin is altcoins versus Bitcoin or altcoins outside the top 10. I know lots of people seem to think that this also includes stablecoins and I shouldn't show it, but both USDC and USDT are also in the top 10. This is excluding top 10, okay? You can see excluding top 10 written at the top. And this shows us something very important. It shows us that the others versus Bitcoin has rounded off and has been grinding higher all the way since June of last year. So over the last year, it has been going up. And in fact, others versus Bitcoin, despite Bitcoin being at the lows right now, is up 31%. Okay, so it's up 31%. And that tells me that the altcoins are far more undervalued, perhaps, than Bitcoin has been. And there's a good reason for that. I just showed you that while the ISM has been kind of down and we've seen contracting balance sheets and things like that, Bitcoin has kind of seemingly managed to get through that, and probably fueled by things like anticipation of ETFs and Donald Trump being a pro-crypto president and all that. But throughout that period of time, the others versus Bitcoin never saw any sort of bull market at all. In fact, the others or altcoins have been in a bear market with only two brief kind of bullish periods here, one at kind of like the beginning of 2024 and then the other at the end of 2024. Probably remember back to those when we saw a lot of altcoins in expansion, but really altcoins in general have been crushed, and now they're starting to grind up higher. This here is into this ascending triangle. You can see this ascending triangle is coming into line with this resistance area here. You know, it's obviously an approximate resistance. It's been rejected as we speak, but if this is to break through, then you are going to see a lot of upside for a lot of altcoins while the Bitcoin price kind of grinds around sideways, maybe starts to come up. Now, we saw something like this in the summer of 2020. It's called DeFi summer. We saw a lot of altcoin expansion despite Bitcoin not really doing a huge amount. Maybe, just maybe, we're going to see something a bit more like this because the others is matching very closely to what's happening in the macro. But as always, my job is simply this: not to have to know when something is going to happen, not to know exactly where it's going to go, but to know roughly that I'm buying at discount so that I can sell at premium. Okay, so I buy into coins that I think are at discounts and I will sell them at premiums. Now, right now, it's a risky business in the world of altcoins. You probably agree with me, but that's if you're not paying attention to which altcoins to be focused towards. And it's all about focusing towards altcoins that have been either generating revenue, have raised a ton of money back in the day, or have been around for several cycles, i.e. have built significant treasuries. Guess what? Whenever the market becomes strong again, and we all know it's going to happen at some point in the future, the altcoins that have got a lot of cash in the bank will start to shine. You know that, right? You've seen it happen over the past few months. Despite Bitcoin being down at lows, whenever you've seen some good strength in the market, certain altcoins have rallied really strongly. Hyperliquid is a good example, although I wouldn't be buying into this right now because, as you can see, it is pretty much at all-time highs. You don't want to buy the one coin that's at all-time highs when everything else is at lows. Another coin that had a very strong push over the past few weeks is WorldCoin, which has went up 211%, currently sits up 115%. WorldCoin raised something like $420 million. They did it from people like Sam Altman, who's at OpenAI. I believe he's an advisor for them. WorldCoin is going to be something that could potentially be utilized in the world of AI, the AI economy that we're moving into, as a proof of humanity. Could be a very interesting one. Now you are getting a little bit of a pullback. Maybe, just maybe, if it gets down to these levels, then we could see a bit of strength. But what we're seeing here right now for this is a strong coin, cash in the bank, that will run when the market has sun on it again. Grass, a coin I talked about the other day, despite what we've seen in the past 48 hours or so, is actually up this week 20%. And you can see that Grass had a pretty painful looking chart over the years, but actually since the 9th of February is now up nearly 191%. Again, Grass sells data to AI companies. They make tons of money, tons of revenue. When the market gets good, what do they do with their revenue? They put it back into their coins. How do we know that this is revenue from whatever being put into the market? Well, because no retailers out there buying altcoins right now. Okay, apart from me, maybe. And I know it's not me who's pushing the prices of these like this. Okay, so will it trend down? Will it stay around there? I don't really know, okay, but I'm happy to buy into this with the anticipation that it could well be worth a lot more in the future. But I must always remind myself that when I buy, it could go up and down for the next few weeks, few months, who knows? And then eventually I get my chance to sell at some point in the future. Now again, not every coin is showing huge strength, but compared to Bitcoin, like even Render here is up 37%. Yeah, Bitcoin in that same period of time is down. Okay, this is very important, very interesting things to be paying attention to. Now, again, Render's been around for many years. They sell GPU rendering services. They make like $8 million per year. They also probably made tons. Now, again, it's been around for many years. And as you can see, back in 2022, it crashed nearly 96, 97%. And from 97, 98% down, it then came back and did a 36, 37x. Okay, pretty decent returns. This is basically my goal here, to try and buy into these projects that are going to come back to life at some point in the future. And the only way to identify what's most likely to come back to life is to find the ones that have been making revenue. Now, I talked a little bit more about how to do that in the video I made just the other day, more about portfolio that I'm personally holding. So make sure you go and check out that after this video. And also make sure if you want to go and buy coins that you do your own research and you understand exactly which of these coins you are holding and why you personally wanted to buy into them. You can't borrow someone else's conviction. You need to build your own, because otherwise the market is going to hurt you into the future. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Let me know down below which coins and things that you've been buying into on this dip. Do you think the Bitcoin price will be heading back down to $49,000? And if it does, what are you going to do about it? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.